12th, 2023. My name is Tim Evans, and I'm the duly appointed hearing officer who will be presiding over the hearings this morning. A little bit of information about myself and the hearing process, and then we'll get started. First of all, I am a licensed attorney in the state of Illinois. I am also a trained administrative law judge. I'm hired by the villages for the sole purpose of coming in to hear these hearings as an independent contractor. So I always kid with people and say, if you're here and you want to complain about the villages, I'm not the guy to talk to because I have nothing to do with the villages other than this. My sole function here today is to listen to the testimony, take in any evidence, and then to make a factual determination as to whether or not that there was a violation of any of the codes. All right. And that's my sole function here today. So what's going to happen is that when your case is called, I'll ask you to step up to the podium. If there's any documents that you want to show me, bring those up to the podium with you. Okay. At that time, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, take an oath to tell the truth. The rules for perjury apply here as they do in a court of law. I will then read the information that I have before me into the record. I will ask you to identify yourself, and then I will ask you to tell me anything you want to tell me, show me anything you want to show me about your case. Okay. And that's at that point, your turn to then present your case. Now, if you're here and you just are looking at a situation where you're going to admit the violation, I'm just here to admit the violation, see if I can get a little extra time. You can tell me that when we start the case. Okay. If you're here and you're going to contest it, then after I've sworn you in and I say, tell me anything you want to tell me, show me anything you want to show me, then you can present your case. Okay. Now I'm interested in anything that's relevant to your case. If you're here and you want to tell me my neighbor does the same thing, why doesn't he get a ticket and I got the ticket? That I can't explain. Okay. That's got nothing to do with the circumstances why you're here. I'm looking at what's on the ticket or what's on the notice that brought you here. Okay. So anything that's relevant to that is what I'm looking at. I'll look at any documents you have and any physical photographs that you have. Okay. If you have a photograph on your cell phone, I will not look at it. Okay. Under the rules of evidence, if I look at it, I have to take your phone for 35 days and lock it up. Okay. Most people don't want their brand new iPhone sitting in a drawer for 35 days. They'd rather be using it. Okay. So I will not look at it. I will let you describe if there's a photograph that you think really shows something in regards to your citation or the violation. I'll let you look at it and you can describe it, but I will not look at it. Okay. Now, understand today's hearings are considered civil in nature, and what that means is that the standard of proof that I'm looking at is by a preponderance of the evidence. It's a 51% standard or a more likely than not standard. Understand, under civil law, when the officer or the inspector signed the sworn statement that brought you here, including the ticket, that is establishing what's called a prima facie showing that the violation occurred. So in other words, once they sign that sworn statement, that's sufficient for me to make a finding against you. All right. Now, if you're going to contest it, you're trying to sway me to your 51% standard or your more likely than not standard. In other words, to establish that you are not liable. Okay. So that's what your purpose is in terms of presenting your evidence. Okay. At some point during the hearing, you're going to hear me say, is there anything else you want to tell me or show me? That's an indication to you that I'm about ready to wrap up the hearing, that I think you're done. If there is more you want to tell me, tell me. All right. I just think at that point that you're done. You don't have anything more to say, but if you do, keep going. All right. This is going to be your one and only opportunity to present any evidence or testimony before me. So you want to make sure that you tell me everything that's relevant to your case. All right. Once you tell me, nope, that's it, I got nothing else that I can think of, then that'll conclude the hearing, and then I'll prepare a written order. Now I'm going to be making one of two findings today. I'm either going to be making a finding of no liability, which means I found in your favor and against the village, in which case there's nothing more you need to do except to get a copy of the order and you're on your way. If, however, I make a finding of liability, it means I found for the village and against you, and then I would be assessing a fine, and we'll see what the fines are depending upon what the case is all about. Okay? Now, if I do make a finding of liability, that is not an opportunity for you to go, wait a minute, I just remembered one more thing that I wanted to tell you before you really make your finding. Understand, once I make my finding, I lose jurisdiction of the case. Okay, so you want to make sure you tell me everything before I make my finding. If I do make a finding of liability, I always tell people pay it or appeal it, but do something with it, because if you have a $50 ticket and you don't pay it, it could go up to $350 very quickly with penalties and late fees, and it's not worth it over a ticket. Okay. So you have the right to appeal my decision. On the bottom of the order is a paragraph that tells you have 35 days in which to file an appeal. An appeal in this case is an actual lawsuit that you have to file in the Circuit Court of Lake County. It is a lawsuit, and therefore I always tell people, get some legal advice, find out what it's all about, get yourself fully informed as to what the steps are, what the process is, what the costs are. And then once you do that, then you can make an informed decision on whether or not you wish to appeal. All right. But it is your right to appeal. All right. Today's hearings are being videotaped, both videotape for purposes of maintaining a transcript. So when you step up to the microphone, just keep your voice up, because what would happen is if there is a finding of liability and you do decide to appeal, what will end up happening is you're going to need a transcript of today's hearings. All right. So you'll want to make sure that you just keep your voice up and it will be fine. If anyone has any cell phones, I'd ask that you put those on silent so we can go through the hearing process uninterrupted. We're going to go in the order that you checked in, and we'll try to get everybody out of here as quickly as we possibly can. Thank you. All right. Do you have the first one?
The sign-in sheet?
Sign-in sheet?
Sign-in sheet is.
Who's the first name on the sign-in sheet? Maybe just give it to, and then once we get that checked in, then maybe we put the sheet back out there. I think you're first, right? Okay, why don't you step up?
What is his name?
It's on the call. If you said Guzman. It's Guzman?
Yeah,
Is
Guzman.
it this guy?
Jose and
That's under Jose.
Ephigenia?
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And on the findings?
Oh, yeah. And that's
There's two.
Is this the type that will come through?
yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. You can put your hand out. Thank you. All right. So there are 2 citations. We're going to go one at a time. And your testimony might be the same for both. When we get to the second ticket, you can tell me my testimony is the same, and then that's fine. If it's not, then I'll give you an opportunity to testify separately about the second ticket. Okay?
Okay.
So the first ticket that we're going to do is citation 14426. This citation was issued on March 2nd, 2023 at 11:43 a.m. at the 37,000 block of DeWoody Road. This is a citation for operating a business at a residence requiring a certificate. You are Ephigenia Guzman?
Actually, I'm Araceli Lascon. That is my mother. So the property was under my mother's name,
Okay.
but now it's under my name.
It's-
I've been living there for like approximately 9-10 years.
Okay. Please spell your name for me, please.
It's Araceli.
Also Guzman? Or
Maiden name Guzman.
okay. All right, and you reside there as well?
Yes.
And but your mom is the owner, mom and dad?
Was.
Was?
Yeah.
Did they sell the property to you?
I just refinanced into my name.
Okay.
But it's always been mine.
Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, so in regards to this citation, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to this citation?
So I would say I did commit the violation. I've met with the village many times. In fact, I think I remember seeing him. I was told that I need to apply for a business permit, which I already did.
Okay.
So the uses, I was looking at the list of uses that I'm allowed to have on the property, and it looks like I meet some of the permissions, the permitted uses. So we sell and deliver grain, soil, and mulch.
Okay.
And those are some of the permitted uses. But I could either do that, or I could apply for a conditional use permit as a landscape storage yard. I don't know which one to do because I do both. So I want to make it right.
Okay.
I just need a little guidance as to which one I should apply
Okay.
for.
And I can't give you that guidance
Yeah, I
because
know,
I'm
per
just,
your-
I'm
yeah,
the guy that's making the decision. But, all right. So, Inspector, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. State your name, please.
Stephen Dumian.
And where do we stand with this situation?
To my knowledge, the business permit has not been issued.
Okay, but it's been applied for?
I don't know if
Okay.
it has or not. I know it's not been issued. The last I checked, there's no business permit issued to this residence.
I believe I applied approximately a couple days after the citation was issued. I
Okay.
don't know the exact date, but I dropped it off.
Okay.
I haven't applied for the conditional use permit though, but I have the application ready to go.
Okay.
Mr. Evans, this might be a case where she might sit down with the village and try to work the situation out before we actually have a finding on it.
Okay.
What do you think, Jason?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
How much time is appropriate? I certainly don't want to continue it for 1 month if it's going to take 2 months, but I also want to stay on top of it.
It really just depends on how soon she can come in and meet. I would be able to meet as early as this Friday if you want, or we can set a date for next week. If she's in the process of applying and she's even talking about the conditional use permit, I do not have an issue extending this out for 1 month so we can give her the guidance and let her make the decisions on what's best for her and her business. Because, you know, we can't guarantee that the business license will be approved, and I can't guarantee that a conditional use permit would be approved, but I am absolutely willing to work with her if she's trying to go through the process.
Does that sound acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
Jason, is 30 days enough if it's got to go in front of the zoning board?
It will approximately be a 2-month process. My thought is extend it for 1 month, see where we're at, and then if I need to, I can always request to extend it 1 more month.
Gotcha.
Yeah, as long as she's moving forward in the process, we can.
Okay.
If that's acceptable to our attorney, that's acceptable to me as well. Thank you.
All right. So May 10th at 9 a.m. All right. So what I'm also going to do is in regards to citation 14427, which is the second ticket, I'm going to also grant the motion to move the case to the May date. Okay. And then again, you need to make sure that you get that meeting set up so you know exactly what the process is. You can talk about what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Is it acceptable only under a conditional use permit? And then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Just set up the meeting before you leave today.
Yeah.
I would tell you this, not to sound, combative or anything, but if you did nothing, if you just walked out of here and said, the hearing would go forward in May, and then I would receive the information that nothing took
Right.
place. And certainly I don't want to see that happen because sounds like you want to get this thing resolved and not
Yeah.
have to worry about this. So, okay. All right. So I'll continue both of these matters until May 10th, 2023. If you just want to see my clerk, she will give you a copy of the orders.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Jose and Sons Landscaping. Good morning.
Morning.
Could you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear affirm any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. All right. Again, 2 citations. We're going to go one at a time. The second citation might have the same thing, might not. Just depends upon what the circumstances are. Okay.
Okay.
All right. First citation is citation 13504. The citation was issued on January 23rd, 2023 at 11:02 a.m. in the 12,000 block of Wadsworth Road. This is a citation for parked on an unimproved surface, parked ingress under 8.12.240. You are, what is your name, sir?
My name is Sergio Facundo, owner of the car,
Okay.
and that's my parents' property.
All right. And sir, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in regards to this?
All right, so the car was put out there because the village has told us to, the back area, it's a commercial area, and that vehicle did not have a sticker, current plate.
Okay.
Is that I said right? Okay. So it was parked back there and they said it has to be moved. So that car it's in the process of being sold. So we pulled it out to sell it. I didn't even put a sign, but then I got somebody interested, and I got the dates, and I've got I'm applying for the title because I don't have the title with me, so I had to apply for it.
Okay.
And in order for that, there's a process to get the title. So in this whole process, the buyer just I was going to leave the December 27th to Mexico for a 1 month trip,
Okay.
and the guy couldn't have the money together. He said when I be back, he would give me the money. So turned out that everything. Oh my goodness, this is a long story.
It's
That,
okay.
So he tried to get we agreed on a price, and then he tried to go down, and I said, okay, I can't. And then he said, okay, I'll buy it. So now I had to apply for this title, and while I got the ticket, I was in Mexico, and when I came back, it was just a little too late. So and
Little too late for what?
for I had an appearance to be here. I think it was last month.
Okay.
So, but I missed a date, and then we got another, which is now. So actually, the car is it's already sold. It hasn't been picked up because there's not a title yet, but it's been applied for.
Okay.
So I know you can't see my phone, but I got the text message where the guy's gonna come and pick it up and buy it. So it's all up to, it is true, it was on the grass outside. It was just waiting to be picked up, but we had to pull it out of there with a bobcat, and we couldn't move it easily in the wintertime. So it just got moved after, I think it was 10, 15 days after the violation.
Okay.
And then right now it's sitting back in the driveway of my parents.
Okay. Now, did you get an estimate from the Secretary of State when you're going to get your registration or your title?
They said it takes 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
It's actually being processed. I do have yeah, the paperwork where it doesn't say how much time it takes. but,
Let me see.
I was in the process of sending in my ID because they didn't take a picture of my ID. So the car will be gone, but definitely it was a miscommunication with the buyer, me, and everything. So
Okay. All right. Sir, I'll give this back to you.
Sure.
So that you have that. Thank you.
So he was here Friday, this Good Friday, and he went to the Secretary of State, and he had to get a insurance bond so that he can process the title himself. So now he's gonna do it. But this is in process for me. It takes $10 to get a registration card, then I could process my title. So that's why it's taking longer, and he just wants it faster.
Okay.
So Friday, he was over, Good Friday, and said that he's gonna be processing
The bond.
yes.
Okay.
So he went over, took pictures to take it to the insurance and all that, so.
All right. And you said you had to use a Bobcat to move the vehicle?
Yeah, to put it out just for sale, and then again, we had to reuse the Bobcat to drag it out of there, because
So it's not running?
it's not running.
Okay.
All the wheels are blowing, well, it'd been seating for about 23 years, so that's why.
That's a long time.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a project car. It's a 1967 Chevelle car, so that's
All right. Okay. Anything else you want to tell me?
why. No, just that the car will be gone.
Okay.
So we're done.
All right. Council, any recommendations?
Right now, it sounds like it's parked on a improved surface. It's sent on the driveway now, right?
Yes, it is.
And it's just inoperable, and it sounds like he's in the process of remedying that. So I would just like to go forward on one of the two tickets and move forward with it.
Okay.
So what you guys think too?
That was going to be my recommendation. The car was parked there about well over 30 days, kind of gave him some slack during the holidays, but the car wasn't moved, so I ended up citing it on the 23rd of January. I'm okay with the inoperable or parked on the unimproved surface, probably the inoperable.
In terms of you
Just dismissing one and entering a finding. on the other.
dismissing the inoperable or
No.
dismissing the parking?
Parking on the unimproved.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Acundo, if you wanted to see these are the photographs from January 23rd. You're welcome to look at these. You're not contesting this, so that's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. So in regards to this, I will dismiss this ticket based upon the village's request. And then in regards to citation 13505, that was a citation for the same vehicle, but this one's for the inoperable vehicle. Okay. Anything else you wanted to tell me about that ticket? Sounds like you pretty much told me everything.
Yeah, no, that's,
Okay. All right, so Mr. Mukunda, in regards to the second citation, I will make a finding of liability based upon your admission. I'll assess the fine at the $100 plus the court costs. What I tell you is it sounds like it's it's parked correctly now. So if the deal, hopefully it doesn't fall through, but if the deal would for some reason fall through, then just make sure that either you get it operable or it stays parked at the location where it's lawful to park it. Okay.
Got it.
All right. If you just want to
Okay.
see my clerk, she'll give you a copy of the order.
You can be that upstairs.
Thanks, Sergio.
Thank you.
Thank you. J.C. Wilson. Good morning. Would you
Hello,
raise your
good-
right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you put your hand down. Thank you.
Mr. Evans, I don't think you have in front of you. Was there a default entered previously in this? Do you guys know?
I have no idea.
Okay. Then we're just starting from scratch here, so.
Okay. All right. You haven't been before me. You haven't had another ticket in regards to this before, correct? This is
No.
okay.
No.
Just want to verify. Okay, thanks. All right, so this is citation 13626. The citation was issued on January 29th, 2023 at 10:23 p.m. This is a citation that was issued in the 38,000 block of North Manor Avenue for disorderly conduct in a unreasonable manner. Caused an offensive act is what it says under 9.04.110. You are Mr. Wilson?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what, if anything, did you want to tell me, show me? Did you want to make an admission? What you tell me what you want to tell me.
So there's a failure to appear that goes along with that because on the ticket they had the wrong hearing date. So I showed up and they said that there was nothing going on here, and so there's another.
So there is.
Can I add to that then?
Yeah.
The deputy was unfamiliar with our process, so if there is a failure to appear, we will vacate that and start from scratch with
Okay.
this. Yeah,
I just want to make sure that's.
no.
Okay.
And that was the question I initially asked because I thought there was, but we don't have the whole file in front of us here. So.
Okay. Well, then you're here
Yeah.
for purposes of the hearing. You can go ahead and tell me what you want to tell me in regards to this.
Um,
If you want to tell me anything, you might, like I said, if you want to admit, you can just admit, or you can tell me what the circumstances were.
So my mom's friend was at. She has a protection order against him. So he was at our house, and he's been very destructive, and so that's why she had to get the protection order. And I asked him to leave, and he didn't leave. So there was altercation, and I don't know who called the police, but the Lake County Sheriff came and they gave me that ticket. So
What did they do with the friend or ex-friend?
I think he left that night. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. So I don't know what happened after.
Do you know? Yes. Why don't you step up? I'll have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down, slide towards the microphone, and tell me your name.
My name is Rita LeBeau.
And Ms. LeBeau, you've heard what Mr. Wilson said about the individual who you had an order of protection against?
I did in the summer, and it was altercated or changed around, and he was unaware of the circumstances. So he thought that the order of protection was still in place, and he wasn't supposed to be there. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you there when he was there?
yes.
Okay. And then who called the police?
I think my daughter's boyfriend was about to, and because of the loud noises, but then he was trying to cancel it out. He accidentally called the police and hung up, and then the police called back, and
Then
he
they have to
said
respond.
it was an accident. We don't need the police, but then
They
Sure
have
enough,
to,
the police showed up.
they have to respond.
So
All right. All right. So, Mr. Wilson, you kind of describe for me what took place here, please, with this individual. Because it just says, in an unreasonable manner caused an offensive act.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of physical contact, but I mean, he didn't call the police, he didn't press charges, so I thought, yeah, I was taken care of. I thought I was defending my mom, the house, so.
the misunderstanding. He thought he was defending me, and he wasn't allowed there. And he's never.
Do you have a,
And we don't
Anything?
have the other side of the story, and the complaint isn't as detailed as we would like, so.
okay. All right. Mr. Wilson, anything else you want to tell me, sir?
No,
Did you have the order of protection dropped or did it expire?
Trying to think what it's. It was altercated to certain terms because I'm this gentleman's power of attorney and legal, so he's allowed to be in my presence as long as he's sober and, and he was, but
So they
he
modified it.
didn't modify. That's the word I'm thinking of.
And you were fortunate that the deputy chose this route rather than writing this as a misdemeanor, because normally the deputies would just write this as a misdemeanor. And
Yeah,
right.
I think.
All right. So, Mr. Wilson, based upon the testimony that I've heard here today, sir, I'm going to make a finding of no liability in this matter. Mom, if you ever have a situation like that again, I think it's probably a good idea for you to tell people that there's a modification because, of course, he's going to try to protect you. And if he thinks that there's an order of protection, he's going to step up. And basically, by not saying that, hey, I want to let you know that there's a modification, you just put him in this situation.
I understand.
And you're not telling him, as counsel said, could have ended up being in a Lake County jail. So you certainly want to have all the information, and you need to make sure that you ask, you sure you didn't modify this? Is this legit? So that way you guys can avoid having to come either here or down there.
I
All right.
understand. Thank
All
you.
right. See the clerk. Thanks.
See what? Oh.
Shanita McLean.
Is that all?
That's it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand up. Thanks. All right, this is citation 13585. The citation was issued on February 17th, 2023 at 10:55 a.m. in the 39,000 block of Calder Lane. This is a citation on a Nissan vehicle for being parked on the roadway with 2 inches of snowfall. You are Miss McLean?
I am.
Okay, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to this?
I have nothing to show you. We have 4 cars. So my husband and I make it our business anytime it snows to ensure that we move the cars off the street. First, because we don't want the snowplow to damage our car. And then 2, we do it because we know the snowplow truck comes through and needs to get rid of the snow. So we pay attention to that really closely in terms of how much snow is out there. In terms of the ticket, I'm just curious if it was a situation where it was close to the 2 inches. We felt like it was under. It says that you have the opportunity to give a warning in that case. Could I have been issued a warning? I've been in my house since 2016 and we've never gotten a violation for snow at all.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, just curious too. This is just curiosity. Like, for me, I didn't know. I just followed my husband's lead, but is there like a sign posted too in regards to the snowfall?
It's a village-wide parking restriction. So there's
Okay.
no requirement under state law that there's a sign on every single street.
Okay.
So just so you know, it's the same thing with parking overnight.
Uh-huh.
The 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. or some places it's 3 to 5, other places it's 4 to 6. If it's a village-wide or a citywide parking restriction, there's no requirement that there's signs on every street,
Okay.
just so you're aware.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Inspector, I'll remind you, you're still under oath. I've got before me one piece of paper, 2 photographs that have 2 photographs dated February 17th, 2023. Did you take these photographs?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. And do they truly and accurately depict the condition in reference to this citation?
At the time that I took the photograph, yes.
Okay. And do you know how much snow took place during this particular snowstorm?
I do not. We get activated based on Public Works request. They use something a little more accurate than the Weather Channel, et cetera, for snowfall and stuff like that. So they notify us when there's over 2 inches of snow and request us to come out there and issue the citations.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, I'm going to show you these photographs so that you see what the officer, and it looks as though on this bottom photograph, the snowplow actually went around the vehicle.
That's 2 inches of snow.
Well, the plow's obviously been there, so.
I mean, is it based on this side or what is it?
It's based,
This doesn't look like 2 inches.
well, it's based upon the fact that the Public Works has contacted the inspectors to come out and based upon the amount of snow that fell. And once they do that, they contact them to say, come out to the streets, and any cars that are parked on the street, you need to give citations to. So
May
that's,
I ask the timing of that, between the time of when you get a call? Do they come out right away or?
you go out.
I can answer that if you need.
Okay, go ahead.
So my name is Jason Garma. I'm the Community Development Director. I typically direct the code enforcement officers to go out and issue snow parking citations. Public Works calls me, and then I direct the code enforcement officers. And my direction to the code enforcement officers is really simple. I want to give everybody in the village the chance to move their vehicle. So we wait until the very last minute before we go out there. That particular snow event, if I remember right, I think we hit the 2-inch mark somewhere around 4 o'clock in the morning. And I never send the guys out anytime before 9 a.m. So that gives the community plenty of time to move their vehicles.
All right, thank you. All right, so Ms. McLean, is there anything else you wanted to tell me, ma'am?
No, I was just questioning about the warning too,
Well,
there was an opportunity
anytime
for
that if an officer or an inspector is going to write a ticket, they've got the discretion as to whether or not they're going to issue a warning, they're going to issue a ticket.
Okay.
And so whether that's an inspector, whether that's law enforcement, whatever the case may be, they've got discretion. But I can't specifically speak to that. Okay. All right. And nothing else then?
No.
Okay. All right, Ms. McLean, based upon the testimony that I've heard, I'm going to, and the exhibit, village exhibit number 1, which is the 2 photographs, I am going to make a finding of liability in this matter. I'll assess a fine at the $100 plus the $25 court costs. So if you just want to see my clerk, she can give you a copy of the order. Thank you.
For Teresa Williams.
We don't have those tickets? Are they just not on the call, or what's the
They're
deal?
not on my docket. And their names don't look familiar. Yeah.
All right, so what do we want to do?
So we don't,
She's saying that they're not on the docket.
do you guys have copies of your tickets? And why don't you take a look and see if we can
Yeah.
figure it out?
Come on up.
Jose Torres looks familiar. Take a look at his. He was here last month. Yeah. You were here last month, correct? No.
No, I saw you guys.
Yeah. This is
Oh.
Hey, Steve, can you grab this from my desk? I have it on my desk.
Yeah.
If you go to my, where Donna puts all my stuff, like the tray right
Yeah.
next to my desk, I have that ticket in there.
Okay.
The plates weren't, like, the name was,
I always. I'll park on the sidewalk.
We'll try to get this worked out so you don't have to come back.
Yeah.
sorry about that.
They're going to get the file, I believe, right? Yeah.
Well, she would have told me beforehand about it before, because I know who she is, she actually called me. So then I went to the housing situation, I told her, hey, speak this back so we can figure out your process. Even if you took 110 minutes out of the hearing, it would probably cut a half an hour. The hearing time is like, it's still, it's only the work, so wait, then 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with you all. What they've done here. So what I'm saying is that she would have probably never agreed to anything, so, and she had a legit argument that she made. No, no, that's right. I understand you have the process. So what you say happened is that the day before, you know, Phil should do a conference call, so that this case on call, and this was, and when I got here, you know, we were like, I was also, let's say,
Should we wait until everyone that's present here goes through their case before we could dismiss mine? Or could we?
Well, if you know the person's not going to show up,
They're not, yeah, they're not here.
then we could do it before. I mean, we could do it beforehand. So it's like when I first walk in,
Okay,
just you know,
Okay.
have the file and say I want to dismiss this one.
okay, sounds good.
And then I'll just put on their motion village dismiss.
Okay,
And then it's, yeah. So any
All right.
that there's nothing that says we have to wait till the end of the call. If you, especially if you know that they're not going to.
yeah, Jerry was mentioning that. Okay,
Yeah. So no, absolutely. It's
Okay.
you know, it's just at that point it's just sort of a perfunctory
Yeah.
action. So
Yeah.
there's
okay.
So,
While they're preparing the other files.
if you have,
Yeah, can I give you that one? Okay.
if there's ones other than that you want to dismiss.
Oh, yeah, it's only one this month. Yeah.
yes. Put our own rules together.
Yeah, so they had building code, lecture code and property maintenance code violations, but at the time of the ticket, they were not in compliance, but they are now, and they have a valid rental certificate issued to the property.
As long as you're okay with that.
Yeah.
The sign sheet was like a piece of paper sign, or half of them, the number of things, that's why I like it.
Yeah, Cynthia might know where. They are a little bit quicker than I would.
So there's lines to sign. Yeah. And the national private act. A lot of people are, and then, this is, like, different than my parents and that. So maybe not even this. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's actually a good idea.
I'm assuming the pile that's upside down there is what you just got done.
Yep. I don't see it here.
Could it be the other pile?
Yeah, I'll check that one.
Which one are you looking for?
9905 Marguerite. There we go. Going through all those. Yeah, we could, yeah, I'd like to motion to dismiss it from Ms. Robinson. And that's the valid Francis certificate. So that thing didn't explode.
I don't know why I did that. I don't know
I
if
didn't know
it's,
monsters are.
they're usually not carbonated, but apparently this one is. It's weird because it says cold brew nitro infused coffee. I don't know why I did that, unless it was from it going from the cold to the heat.
Yeah.
Because I had it in the fridge last night, so maybe it got warm. I don't know. It's weird. Great way to start the day.
Thank you very much. And then Cynthia was putting the completed ones
Right there.
right here. Okay, thank you, Tom.
Yep. Yeah, anytime like that, there's no requirement, especially if
Can we-
if they're gonna be here, then that's different.
Okay.
Because then.
Yeah, this was she was on the fence. So, okay, if it's different, and if I know they're not
But
gonna
if
be
you
here.
think that they're not gonna be here, and we go ahead and do it, and they show up, and you can go, here's a copy of the order.
Okay.
We already did it, and then she-
Okay, can we fill this out and you can sign it, or do you need to fill it out yourself? You need to fill that out, okay. Even if, okay, what if it's electronic, you still need to type that out?
You have a sidewalk working. You have a case up.
Oh, okay.
Sidewalk
All right,
working.
if it's electronically done, then I can just.
Thank you.
Yes. He's the first one on the list.
I'm sorry about that.
Perfect for you. Here. You wanna take a look again? Before we hand those to
I'll
her?
just hand you.
Yeah, I have it up here too.
Okay,
And
you're
then
set.
where's his?
This one in
ticket?
color, actually.
That's his.
Joseph Torres?
Yep. And that's hers. Pictures.
Good morning.
Morning.
Would you raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Thank you. All right, this is citation 13600. The citation was issued March 21st, 2023 at 2:45 p.m. This is a citation that was issued on a commercial vehicle for being parked in a residential area at Northern and Barstow Street. Are you Mr. Torres?
Yes, sir.
And what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to this?
Oh, well, I have nothing to show you because I understand I can't show you anything on my cell phone.
Okay.
But at the time I was given the citation, I did have the chance to talk to these two gentlemen here. And I genuinely didn't know I couldn't park the commercial vehicle there. I don't live there. I live off of York House.
Okay.
So I was taking the walk every morning to go there. I know the neighbors there. I know the people that own the property and I own the houses there.
Okay.
And I have grown up in that area and in that Beach Park area for about 20 years now. And to my understanding, I did not know that a commercial vehicle could not park in a residential area. But once I found out, of course, I'm not here to go against the rules or the
Sure.
laws that the village has. So
You just didn't know.
I just didn't know. Yeah, I at the first time a picture was shown to me with the tractor and the trailer. So the tractor and the trailer was parked there on late night because for by law the truck drivers only are given like 14 hours, like a work shift, and 11 hours drive time. So at that night I was running out of hours, and since I was living close by, I figured I'd park there. And but after that, I did bring the truck back because I wasn't given any problems. Like I wasn't told anything that I couldn't park there, so I brought back just the tractor, no trailer, after that day, and then I was given the
ticket.
citation. But I understand that I can't park there, so I have other places to park. I just didn't know.
All right. Thank you.
There's no aggravation. I don't know if you guys have any recommendations either.
Jason, this is the truck that had the trailer that was taken at night. The individual, once we met with him, he moved the truck immediately. He did indicate that he wasn't aware he couldn't park there. Initially, he had a tractor and a trailer there. That's the photographs that we got from a citizen complaint. When we went there, there was just the tractor, not the trailer. He met us there, saw us writing the citation and taking the photographs. He showed up and we explained to him that he couldn't park there, and he did move the semi tractor right away, and it has not returned.
All right.
My question would be, is it parked anywhere in the village?
No, sir. I work out of Kenosha, so the tractor's parked in Kenosha.
Okay.
Tim?
The initial fine pursuant to the statute is $750. Is there
No, definitely not 750. I was thinking more like $50 would be more appropriate on this.
I agree. I was gonna recommend cutting the fine in half or dismissing it altogether because the gentleman did work with us and moved it right away. And if we dismiss the ticket, I would just like to tell the individual that we can do that and work with you, but the next time it will be a $750 ticket. But due to the fact that you were nice to the code enforcement officers, you did what they asked, you moved it right away, I'm willing to work with you.
That'll be the village's recommendation then to dismiss it.
to dismiss it? Okay.
Just remember, our records are good forever, so 3 years from now, if we see that, it'll be a $750 ticket.
Yes, sir.
I think the main thing is you removed it from the village because you can't have a commercial vehicle anywhere in Beach Park unless it's in a commercial area. It can't be in a residential district.
Okay. Yes.
All right, Mr. Torres, you caught a big break. I'm going to go ahead and follow the village's recommendation to dismiss it based upon your cooperation. So best of luck, and you heard what they said.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. No problem. Okay.
Here you are.
Grab your cup. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
Next one.
Ms. Williams. Worked on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, just hang on. Okay. Do you have an order?
Oh, wait. It was, oh,
Ms. Williams.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. Ma'am, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. This is citation 14441. The citation was issued March 19th. I think that's what that says. 2023 at 9:30 a.m. in the 13,000 block of Piccadilly Court. And this is a citation on a Ram vehicle for being parked on the sidewalk. You are Miss Williams?
Yes.
And Miss Williams, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to this?
Okay. If you look out this window right here,
Uh-huh.
this is the Dodge Ram right there. And for whatever reason, my husband bought me this car or this truck. I say trying to be funny. He's passed away.
Oh,
And he
sorry.
used to have one of these. And I used to tell him that when you leave here, he had cancer, so we knew where he was going. And when you leave here, I'm going to get rid of that big old thing. And so what he did was, on my birthday, they called me and they told me my husband purchased me this vehicle. So on that particular day, garbage was that day. And in order for us to get the garbage out from the driveway from up there, my granddaughter, she takes the garbage out because it's just me and her now. And so I'm just assuming that when she backed the truck up just to move the garbage from the two-car away, that I never noticed that it was parked a little bit across the driveway to the sidewalk.
Okay.
That, the sidewalk that I've been there for 10 years. And I just, for one, my husband must be went to his grave with the ordinance of not being able to have your vehicle parked a little bit across the sidewalk
Okay.
as you walk. I didn't know. And when I came out, saw the ticket, I just, I didn't know that it was at the tail of the sidewalk.
Okay.
Does it fit in the driveway?
It'll fit in the driveway if we, with the garbage can, when we take it out of the garage, because it was a lot of wet and snow, there's cars parked, the driveways are very small. And so in order to get it through, she had to pull the car back a little bit. And I'm assuming that she just left it like that. I didn't know it was even like that, because normally I pull it all the way up and stuff so that it don't be like that. So, but
And
I didn't even know.
Steve, has there been any other problems at this property?
This is actually Alec's ticket, but as Alec just said to me, he said, looking at the picture, the explanation makes a lot of sense.
Yes. So I'm going to say, first of all, that I've only heard of spouses buying vehicles for their
I don't know why.
significant others on TV, so I'm glad to see it
Coulda
actually
bought
happens in
me a
person.
Xfinity or something.
But in light of her testimony and her promise to keep the vehicle off the sidewalk, the village is going to dismiss the ticket.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
It makes sense. We were trying to figure out why you had all that room in front of the truck.
Oh, it
and the
was
truck
garbage
would-
day
Yeah.
that day.
Definitely see it in
So,
this picture,
yeah.
yes.
Makes sense now.
And what happens is the kids are walking along and they have to go out into the street to go around the truck. And
Right, I understand. Yeah. Which, by the way, is a bunch of old folks like me down there blocks. But people walk, so I understand.
Sounds better when I say kids, though.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Williams, based upon the village's motion, I'm going to grant their motion and dismiss the ticket. You now know that it's a situation like that. So you, especially on garbage day, you got to make sure with your
Yeah.
granddaughter, daughter, that gets taken care of. I'm sure the officers are not going to be out there waiting with their ticket,
Oh,
and
I know.
waiting for you to back up and leave your car parked. But if it's one of those situations where it's going to be there a while, you need to make sure you stay on top of that.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. We don't have any proof of, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. This will conclude the in-person hearings for the Village of Beach Park and the Village of Wadsworth, this being April 12th, 2023.